Our beloved show has been renewed for a second season. That's right, there will be more adventures, more science experiments gone awry, and more chaos for Tom and Jerry to get into. But that's not all. Season 2 will also introduce some new characters who are sure to bring even more mayhem to the mix. We can't wait for you all to meet them. So stay tuned for all the updates on our socials. Now let's get to the next episode. It's a beautiful sunny day in the neighborhood. Tom is sitting on the porch, steps outside the house, enjoying a nice cold glass of milk. Jerry comes out and joins him. The two decide they're going to play hooky from work or school and just enjoy the beautiful weather. They lay down on the grass and start to take a nap, when suddenly a hot air balloon floats overhead. It's being piloted by Spike, who's wearing a lab coat and goggles, and is trying to steer it with a pair of oars. Tom and Jerry watch in amazement as the balloon slowly begins to lose altitude and head straight for their house. Before they can do anything, though, it crashes right through the roof and lands inside the living room. The trio exits the balloon, and Spike explains that he was trying to use the hot air to help him test his new invention. But something went wrong, and now his balloon is busted. As Spike is ranting about how he'll never finish his project now, Tom spies something in the wreckage of the balloon. It's a tall black hat with a red band around it. Tom puts it on and immediately feels a surge of power. He takes it off again, and as soon as he does, Spike's inventions start malfunctioning. Tom puts the hat back on, and everything goes back to normal. It looks like this hat has magical powers. Jerry grabs the hat and starts messing around with it. He puts it on top of a stack of books, then takes it off, and the books begin to levitate around the room. He tries it again, and the books spell out the word Jerry in the air. He gives Tom the hat, and he tries putting it on the books again. But instead of spelling out Tom, it spells out TN. The hat then shoots Tom up into the air, and he lands with a resounding crash. It seems like this hat is pretty unpredictable. Determined to figure out how the hat works, Jerry puts it on and focuses on making a simple sandwich appear. The hat produces a giant loaf of bread instead. Just then, Butch walks in, sees the giant piece of bread and starts making a run for it. Jerry chases after him and trips over a chair. The hat flies off his head and lands on Butch, who promptly explodes into a shower of sparks. Jerry quickly gets the hat back and puts it on. This time, he makes an anvil appear above Butch's head and drops it on him. It only makes a small dent in the metal, but it's enough to send Butch running for safety. With Butch scared off, Jerry decides to take things one step further. He puts the hat on top of Tom's head and makes him float up to the ceiling. He then switches hats and makes himself float too. Up there, the two play around for a while, dodging light fixtures and hanging decorations, until Jerry accidentally makes them both shrink down to the size of mice. So no. What are they gonna do now? Back inside the house, Spike is finishing up some repairs when he notices Tom and Jerry are missing. He looks around and quickly realizes what must have happened. He runs to the living room and spots their tiny bodies floating past the couch. Spike tries to grab them, but he's too big and ends up knocking over a lamp in the process. The two mice hide behind the lampshade while Spike frantically tries to fix it. Once he's distracted, they escape out the window and make their way to the park. At the park, Tom and Jerry spot some children playing with a group of ducks. Using the hat, Jerry makes a bunch of tasty-looking cheese appear, and the ducks immediately gobble it up. Then he makes some crackers appear, and the children are delighted. They start asking for more and more food, and Jerry happily provides it. all while Tom hides behind the hat in the bushes. Finally, one of the kids notices Tom and asks if he wants some cheese, too. Tom hesitates at first, but eventually accepts the offer. As soon as the cheese touches his lips, he turns into a mouse. Jerry and the children are shocked, but Tom doesn't seem to mind. In fact, he's quite happy with his new form. They all play together until it starts to get dark, then they head home. On the way, Tom and Jerry stop by the house to retrieve the hat and give it back to Spike. He's been working hard on his latest invention, which is designed to detect magic, and he says that with the hat, he'll finally be able to finish it. Tom and Jerry say goodbye and run off to find somewhere to sleep. They make it all the way back to the living room before Jerry's stomach starts growling. He uses the hat to make a bowl of spaghetti and meatballs appear, then spends the night eating and playing games. Meanwhile, Spike is in his workshop, tinkering away with the hat on his head. Suddenly, the hat malfunctions and causes his goggles to float around the room. In a panic, he rips the hat off and stomps outside, where he accidentally sets off his sprinkler system. In the morning, Tom and Jerry come out and see the water spraying everywhere. Jerry grabs the hat and uses it to turn the water into wine. Tom isn't so sure about this magic trick, but he admits that if it's gonna be a long night, he could use a glass of wine. Suddenly, Butch appears and tries to steal the hat, but Jerry stops him with a well-aimed splash of wine. Butch runs off, soaking wet, and Jerry turns the remaining wine back into water. Psyche comes out and sees what's happened. He tells Tom and Jerry that he figured out how to control the hat's powers. All you have to do is think very hard about what you want to happen and repeat it 3 times. So he puts the hat on and tries to make his goggles float again. It works this time, and he's so excited that he repeats the process 3 times. The goggles go faster and faster until they break. Tom and Jerry try to tell him that he shouldn't do that, but it's too late. His latest invention has also exploded. Just then, Butch sneaks up and grabs the hat. He runs away, and Spike, Tom and Jerry chase after him. Butch leads them on a wild goose chase all around town, and Jerry uses the hat to keep him at bay. He makes cars appear to block Butch's path, then uses his own car to give chase. Butch leads them all to an old abandoned water tower, then climbs to the top. Tom and Jerry follow, and Spike stays behind with the car. Butch jumps off the tower and uses the hat to make himself float away. But Jerry jumps in just in time and grabs onto the hat. He pulls it off Butch's head and makes him plummet to the ground. At last, they finally catch him, and Jerry puts the hat on to finish things off. He makes a giant rubber chicken appear and drops it on Butch's head. The hat then malfunctions, and for a moment, Jerry finds himself transformed into the very same rubber chicken. Butch and Tom look at each other in surprise, then burst out laughing. The 3 friends spend the rest of the day playing around, and by the time the sun goes down, they're exhausted. Back at the house, Spike takes the hat off and hangs it up on a hook. He tells Tom and Jerry that he's figured out how to make more hats like it, and they can't wait to see what kind of magic they'll unleash next. That's all the time we have for today, but we hope you enjoyed this fun-filled episode of Tom and Jerry. If you want to see more of these magical escapades, then be sure to tune in next time. Until then, take care and stay curious.